According to data from the CIA, Monaco holds the world's highest life expectancy, averaging 89.5 years. In the US, that number is around 80. Canadians average about 82, while in the UK, it's close to 81. Across the globe, this figure varies widely, dropping into the low 50s in some less developed regions. For this video, let's assume you're on the higher end of the global average and live without serious illness or misfortune, reaching 82 years of age. 82 years as yourself on Earth sounds fairly reasonable, but that's from birth. To understand your remaining time, subtract your current age from 82. For simplicity, let's assume you're 22, a common age when many begin their careers. That leaves you with 60 years ahead, which equals 21,900 days, or 525,600 hours. Still quite a lot. However, with 8 hours of sleep per night, you'll spend 175,200 hours asleep. That brings your total down to roughly 40 years of active waking life, already a 20-year reduction. Here's where it becomes more concerning. A 2017 survey revealed nearly half of US workers felt unsatisfied or unhappy in their jobs. A global study from the same year showed 85% of workers disliked or even hated their work. That means there's a high probability this applies to you. Even if you don't hate your job, maybe you rarely enjoy it. Maybe you count down the days to Friday, living only for the weekend. If that's your reality, let's see how many days that lifestyle leaves you. On average, there are 260 workdays each year. Over the next 40 years, that adds up to 10,400 weekdays. Subtract those from your 14,600 remaining waking days, and you're left with just 4,200, about 11 years. You might think you'll gain some of that time back after retirement, say at age 63. But in the US, roughly 68% of people over 65 experience some form of disability or cognitive decline. So those retirement years may not be as joyful or liberating as imagined. For argument's sake, let's give you all those years back. Now, realistically, as you age, the chance of declining health increases. Let's estimate, generously, that 2 out of every 7 days after retirement are enjoyable. That brings us back to roughly 11 good years of life. Living only for weekends turns what started as 60 years of potential life into just 11 years of meaningful experience. And what if your weekends aren't always enjoyable, spent doing chores, handling personal obligations, or even working overtime? That could shave another year or more off your quality time. So if you're 22, your effective waking life have enjoyed. Time is reduced to that of a 32-year-old, and regardless of your actual age, the principle still applies. If you live for the weekend, you may be wishing most of your life away. It's difficult to justify a life where large portions are spent in anticipation of time passing, where joy is confined to such small windows. If there's any hope to avoid this, accepting it without question is nearly irrational. Of course, life brings obligations. There are things we must do that won't always be enjoyable. Not every day at work will be exciting or inspiring. But if your job consistently lacks fulfillment, you're effectively giving up a majority of your life. Life is short. Even if you love your work and don't subtract your weekdays, factoring in everything from self-care to daily tasks, the time left is still alarmingly limited. That's why it's essential to guard your time carefully. Be intentional with how you use it and selective about what you trade it for. Don't let external pressure from society, family, or peers steer you toward jobs or lifestyles that don't align with who you are. Avoid being distracted by short-term pleasures that don't bring lasting satisfaction. Try not to make avoidable choices that lead to long-term regret. If you constantly long for the weekend, only to blink and find it gone, resetting the cycle each Monday, and you feel like most days are going to waste, maybe it's time to reevaluate how you're living. Consider spending some of your time now, ensuring you don't lose even more of it in the future. Thanks for watching. If you found this video meaningful, please give it a like. Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We regularly release videos to help you view life with greater clarity and appreciation.